Hey everyone, I'm SniperKH and welcome to the 4th Grandmaster guide for Season of the Seraph. Today we're going to cover how to easily beat the Corrupted. The Corrupted was originally seen as the hardest nightfall in the game, but thanks to the introduction of several items and changes to stats, it has become much easier to accomplish. Today's guide will tackle the various tips, tricks, and loadouts your team may want to use. So without wasting any more time, let's dive into the guide. Let's begin by discussing loadouts. In the Corrupted, your team will be required to deal with Overload and Unstoppable champions, while also dealing with all 3 elemental shields in the game, which is quite demanding but can definitely be doable. For this GM, I'm going to recommend one of 2 loadouts for your team. The first one will be as follows. Have 2 players run Witherhoard and have your 3rd player run an Unstoppable hand cannon. For secondaries, have 2 players run 2 scout rifles that are not Arc, as player 3 will be covering Arc thanks to them running Divinity. Finally, have all 3 players run an Arc linear fusion rifle to take advantage of the Arc burn this strike offers, and to take advantage of Seti's crit multiplier. Now, if you're unable to run Div, whether that be nobody in your team has it or whatever the excuse be, then you can switch the Div out for an Arc scout rifle, and while you're at it, swap the hand cannon out for a blinding grenade launcher. For subclasses, you're definitely going to want crowd control supers for this strike, with a small hint of defensive supers, so choose any of the following 3 to run. For Titans, I recommend the Arc or Void subclasses. For Hunters, I recommend Stasis or Void subclasses, and for Warlocks, I highly recommend running Solar for the Well, but if you can't, then Stasis will work just fine. For mods, run the typical defensive mods of Energy, Diffusion, Substrate, Concussive Dampener, and of course, run Lucent Finisher for the heavy. Now that we've covered that, let's get into the guide. When your team spawns in, chill here for a moment as you'll have an Overload champion spawn right in front of you on the bridge. Once it spawns, take it out quickly, then have your team spawn their sparrows and take the path on the far right side, as you'll avoid 90% of the adds in this area. Once you've made it past the cliffs and to the end of the path, look to the left and have your team take out the mini boss here. From there, focus the taken adds and then the Overload champions, while getting a finisher on one if necessary. Once the way is open, move on. The next area your team arrives at will be the elevator, which is arguably the hardest part of this strike. When you get into the room, clear out the adds, and before you start the encounter, have one player throw the orbs at the other 2 teammates, as this will charge the orb, which will allow them to one-shot the shields. Once 2 of the players have gotten an orb, start the encounter and pre-fire Witherhoards and grenades at the spawns of the adds. When those adds have died, have your 2 relic players throw their orbs once the mini bosses spawn, and then take them out. Once those enemies are dead, have one player run and throw relics at the other 2 players again before the room is taken. Once the other 2 players have gotten an orb, rinse to repeat the same process of spawn trapping adds with grenades and Witherhoards, and kill the named enemies again. Once all adds are dead, the elevator will stop and the door will open, revealing some Acolytes, Knights, Shrieker, and an Unstoppable Ogre. Have your team stun the Unstop while dealing with the smaller adds, then kill the Unstop. Once it is dead, move forward, kill the Shrieker, then kill the rest of the adds. In the next area, you'll have 2 Unstop Ogres, some Knights, and 3 Shriekers. Kill the closest Unstop first, getting a finisher if necessary, then kill the close Knights and bait the Unstop towards you, killing it and getting finishers. Once those adds are dead, kill the Shrieker and push forward to the final Shrieker and Knights. Once all adds are dead, move on. Following that part is what I think is the most stressful part of the strike, being the double Ogre Room. Start by having your team spawn kill the Unstop Ogre, and once it is dead, jump up to the right side high ground and use that area for cover. In this area, you'll get a debuff where every 8 seconds you'll be transported to another dimension, and when you get teleported to the new dimension, the adds in the previous dimension will move around, so once you return, look around to not get caught off guard. While your team is on the right side, bait adds up the stairs, throwing grenades down and using wells for protection. Have your team kill all adds in each dimension before taking down the ogres for a stress-free time dealing with them. Once all adds are dead, have your team focus the Hive Ogre first for an easier path through this area. Once you get the Ogre to half health, you'll spawn in more adds, so kill them and then continue damaging the Hive Ogre when you're in the normal realm. Once you've killed the Hive Ogre, focus on the taken Ogre, and once they're dead, have your team run halfway down the right side stairs and have your Hunter invis you out. Once you're through the portal, you'll have a large number of champs to kill, and 2 will be awaiting you the moment you teleport back, so kill them and get finishers. Once the champs and adds at the top of the stairs are dead, focus the adds and champs on and at the bottom of the stairs. Once they're dead, have your team use the left high ground to easily deal with the overload on the left side. Once the left overload is dead, kill the other overload while getting a finisher, then move on. The next area features a drop that can be horrifying, but there's an easy way to get through it. Once you've gotten to the hole that you need to drop into, look for this floating rock on the left side, and once you've found it, drop down to it. From there, run to one of the sides of the rock that is away from the taken ball beside you, and drop down to the portal for an easy drop. Once you've made it through the portal, you have a walkway to go through, which consists of 3 overloads. For the first platform, have your team kill all adds from a distance with your scouts, then stun the overload, jump forward, and try to melt it. If you aren't able to, just restun it and then kill it. From there, slowly make your way down to the next major platform, where you'll have some taken thrall and some invis minotaurs, one on the left, one on the right, and one by the opposite edge of the platform where you drop down to. Kill the left invis minotaur, then the right, then kill the adds below you, then drop down and kill the last minotaur. From there, run to the edge where the last minotaur was, then stun and melt the overload, getting finishers if necessary. Finally, have your team enter the hallway, kill the 2 sniper vandals, and then stun and kill the overload, getting finishers if needed. Once all adds are dead, move on. The final part of the strike is the boss room. Start by keeping your 2 teammates on the platform before the main boss platform, as you can stand back here for cover. Have one of the players with Witherhoard pre-place Witherhoard shots where the scions will land at from their jumps to try and spawn kill them. From there, focus the knights down. Once all adds are dead, send one player to get the relic and have them pass it to a teammate, who should then throw the relic at the boss. Once the boss's shields break, have all but one player run back to the platform behind the main boss platform, and have the one player that didn't go to the safe platform pre-place Witherhoard shots to once again spawn kill scions. Once scions and knights are dead, have your team run to the opposite side of the boss arena from where the safe platform is, and have your team hide behind this pole structure here. Once all are here, have your well warlock drop their well, and once your team is ready, have everyone fire 3 storm chaser shots into Sadia's head. This will cause Sadia to spawn to the platform directly behind you. When you turn around, have your team dump the rest of their ammo into her. If you do it fast enough and hit your shots, you will one-face Sadia. If you fail to one-face Sadia, then have everybody run back to the safe platform where everyone held for most of the fight, and sit back and kill the adds that have spawned, using Witherhoard and grenades to your advantage. Once adds are dead, grab the relic, pass it to a teammate, then throw it at the boss, and once the boss leaves, have your team run to the newly spawned portal where your team damaged Sadia adds. Inside the Ascendant Realm, you'll have an Overload and Unstopped champion alongside some knights to kill, so stay back and kill the smaller adds, and then go for the champs. Once all adds are dead, push forward carefully to the new final boss arena. Since you're here, have your hunter tether the add spawn and try to focus as many adds as you can. Once the relic is up, have one teammate grab the relic, pass it to a teammate, and focus Sadia until she goes immune, where you need to grab the relic again, pass it, break her shields, and melt her for an easy completion of the Corrupted Grandmaster Nightfall. Well, that will wrap up the 4th Grandmaster Nightfall guide for Season of the Seraph. If you found the guide helpful, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. Also, consider subscribing to the channel for more Destiny 2 content dropping every week. If you want help with this GM or you just want to hang out with me, then stop by my streams that happen right here on YouTube. Finally, follow me on all my social media platforms linked in the description below. With that being said, I'm SniperKH, and I'm out. Good luck with gaming.